All right. I actually had to calm myself down. It was just so bad. Because, target individuals, we are forced to be pushed into illogicalness that just is so pathetic. That your brain could be forced to think in this illogicalness. And you know that, you know, let me just always start off with introducing myself so I can put myself back in the right perceptions. I'm a target individual, and I've been a target individual since I started working for the employer of mine. But on August 19, 2019, I've experienced the V2K. Ever since then, my thoughts, my way of processing, thinking, dreaming, perceptions, all of that manipulation of libido, my body has been manipulated, tormented, and tortured in a lot of psychological ways, and obviously physically, remotely. And the theme of my torture has been very degrading in the sense of pedophilia centric. And as they forced me to experience these nasty things, they try to make me subscribe to it in different fashion. And in my videos, you hear a lot of that. Sometimes it's harder for me to express myself. Others are times when I can express myself in a better way. I can speak in a more controlled way, because it is annoying, right? You experience these nasty things. You have people around you that you know at this point that are contracted by these government entities to get you to accept these things. And these people, it's funny how they call you a nothing, and then you get to see them. And it's not about wealth. It's about when people do things that are foul, they look like it. When people involve in themselves in this kind of things, there is no way you cannot make yourself look like a decent person. It doesn't work. One way or another, it shows, because you're a nasty low life for involving yourself. And they try to make you accept these ways of perceiving things, but making you try to get you to accept. It's so disgusting. The reason why I'm making this video, and I'm going to make other videos, because I got a chance to see some of the neighbors that involve themselves in this. And you see them, you're like, oh my goodness. And it's so exciting because apparently there's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen to me, and frame of some sort is going to happen. I'm going to be framed one way or another by these bottom feeders. But, to me, I'm like, listen, what happens to people who involve themselves in these things? Some of these people are like older people, like people who are in their 60s or so. And like, when you hit 60, you start understanding that death is close to you. So when I see this grown man, an adult man who lived a long life, at least long enough, and you're like, this is how you're going to end your life? After this long life, who knows how much of this they've done before, but it's so sad. And he's trying to call you something like, and it's funny because when they do these pedophilia things, then they try to make you accept this. It's like, you are pedo. I was like, they've been humiliated. Unfortunately for them, as they were trying to make me accept these things, reality just hit them. I think this is all I've been asking for. It's so disgusting. And so I just me imagining living their life at this point is scary, because they have the choice of living a life where they could live a decent life. They don't have to make themselves this humiliated. But they chose the easy way out, and now they're here appearing the way they're appearing. I was in the hallway listening to this person. He was ordering food. I could hear this. It's like, I don't even want to live this life. This next door neighbors here, you should see how they look like. It's so pathetic. And they're like, yeah, oh, you're going to ride in hell. It's like, these people are not in heaven. It's so sad. You're not even, like, look at your life. They do their best to not be seen by me. I've called some of them pedophiles in their faces. You're a pedophile. She just like smiled at me. Ever since, they don't want to be seen. And it's frustrating. And it's annoying to deal with this. But you have to be strong and understand this. This is their job. People doing this to me ended up dying. Some of them killed themselves. Some of them saw people they love died. And I was like, you're gonna see, you watch, while you watch me die, watch what's happening to you. Death. You could dedicate your time focusing on that instead of focusing on my death. But it's okay. There's more to come. You're going to dedicate more time on it? Yes, please. Trash. And they're so weak. And they like to tell themselves, oh, she's strong. We're strong. I said, no. No. It's just too weak. Me, you make me feel... And it's funny. They try to demasculate me. Oh, she's strong. Like, can you imagine people who do these nasty things, try to dehumanize you, demasculate you? Like, if you ever seen somebody so trashy, try to call you a nothing, and you look at them, it's like, oh my goodness. I almost want to be a nothing now because of you. They want me, like, they make me want to be a nothing. Because they are truly, they're so disturbing. It's like, if you claiming that I'm a nothing, I would rather be a nothing. Because I'm seeing you, and if this is what a something is, I truly want to be a nothing. I truly want to be a nothing. They almost makes me want to be a nothing. Like, oh, nothing is good. Something is bad. Because they do these things where they try to dehumanize me. And I'm talking about my target individuals. Sorry if I go everywhere. It's because I gave this V2K and people are interacting with me via V2K. And this is technology that can project sound in your head remotely. It's some technology that has actually been around for a long time, but unfortunately, well, I've just found out on August 19, 2019 that this thing actually is true. I could not believe it was true unless I experienced it. And once you're experiencing it, it's a bad sign, because this is a weaponry that is governmental and is being developed by these governmental entities, and it's crazy, and it's so bad. That it also can manipulate your ways of thinking. It's also called synthetic telepathy, and the reason why you hear about target individuals is because you find out how we become manipulated and become like the subjects of this human experimentation. I don't even call it human experimentation. It's more of human use of developing a technology, meaning that they find ways to manipulate people in these ways and to make them accept these ways, and it's crazy. For example, what's happening to me right now, and I know it's gonna sound almost on the spectrum side, but you're forced to think in these ways, and your brain really try to really make sense of this. But it's how the brain goes, and you have to accept that your brain is no longer on a state of logic, because they have ability to rewire your brain in ways that's so illogical. And I'm here to my testimonials are really to try to depict what's happening as they manipulate me in these ways. And so when I express myself, it does help me seeing them truly for what they are. Right? They truly want you to accept these ways of just illogicalness, and they use these childlike individuals, and they try to gaslight you into accepting this. It's just so illogical. And they try to make you accept it. Like, and then I see my neighbor just like showing their phones, like, oh, you see, this is, and I open the door. They run because they know he knows we're just trying to act a certain way. Because what happened is, like, these people are truly, he's not going with this. It's just so illogical. For example, it's so bad. It's just, when I say so bad, it's not. I'm not only talking about my torture. I'm talking about the stupidity of how they want me to think. It's so bad. You almost wonder, like, what kind of grown adult man or woman can dumb themselves down to this level? They're making me think of this, I forgot which vlogger. He traveled the world, and I think he went to like some place in Bulgaria or whatever, in some Eastern European country, and he was meeting people. He got to get some number, like he met some women or some young women in some places where, and it's so sad. They try to make me imagine a different version. He met this, and they try to create some storylines in my head, some storylines, and that's why you hear the noise campaign. This is part of the whole ecosystem to try to create these stories. And he gets the number and whatever, and they're trying to make me imagine different scenarios. Like, how old is this young woman? What? And he's like, yo, see, we have proof. We have proof that you're into kids. And those are most likely like young adults, right? I'm talking about early 20s. And they try to make me imagine different stories. Like storylines they come up with. And it's like, okay, it's young adults, but you see, that's proof. It's like young, why would you even see that? Because they're like in their early 20s or so. And then you hear them try to make noise campaign to try to get you to accept these things. These people have sold their soul to entities. Whatever benefits or incentives is offered to them to dumb themselves down, to make themselves become almost, I don't want to use that word, child-minded, to get you to accept these things. It's crazy. In my brain, they try to make me have like this battle, like try to find out when was this. I'm not going to look. Of course, it's one of these young adults going out in countries and meeting girls and talking to them and getting numbers, something like that. And they try to make me imagine how old were they? What? How old was the young adult that he was talking to? That's proof. What does this person have to do? So, no, you see, that was cool. It was like, good for him. Yeah, it's good. He ended up meeting up with girls. Great for him. It's just delusional. And they try to find ways to make you accept these things. And you have these people who actually work for entities filled with pedophiles who try to make you accept these things. Oh, this vlogger who's going to like these countries in East European and different, he traveled all around the world, and it's like, oh, he started meeting people in Bulgaria and started, what does he have to do with me? What does this man have to do with me? It's not, that's proof. That proves. Proof what? That the people are followed are picking up numbers from girls around their age, the adults, younger, whatever. What is it? And I know when I speak about this, it sounds almost illogical, right? But my mind is manipulated. These perps, their job is to make you believe that this makes sense. Because what's happening today is when I look at children, they make me have stimulations. All kinds of stimulation. It's disgusting. They even do that to our pets. It's crazy. The next door neighbors, they have pet. They try to show the pet so they can do these things to this kid, this baby, or this dog. It's so nasty. This was truly a back and forth in my brain, to the point where I'm almost like feeling I should go and see this vlogger video when he's is this Eastern European, Bulgaria, whatever. It makes no sense. Now, I know they just try to mess with me and break me down. But it's just so sad. They come up with these ways of thinking and try to make me subscribe to this. I'd rather starve to death than having to eat, sleep, doing these things to people. I just heard throughout the day the reminder of what they do to women and their children. I know they torture children. I know they torture women. I know they torture babies. It's so nasty. Hearing that these people are involved in a program that torture babies. Talk about sexual torture of a 3-year-old kid. And then try to make you at least accept these things, like you are not going to escape. And they tell me I'm going to rot in hell. What heaven are you in where you're in a program that does these horrible things? I'd rather die in hell. I'd rather suffocate in hell This is not a heaven. What kind of horrible ways of living? Me, it's annoying. I'm here being almost damn near, I don't want to use the word, but retarded. That's the best retardation. This is the only way I can describe this. And looking at these people, if you look at these people, they enjoying themselves, but it's like something is off about them. All of them, in all aspect of it. Everybody who's involved in this thing look like something is just not natural, like something is just no normal, something has gone wrong, and I'm the one being tortured. I would think that I'm the one who look bizarre, because my bone structure is changing, my nose, the tissue, my skin is just, because the radiation, they're doing things to my body and to my face, like physically, physiologically, you can see my face changing. I have like bones structure changing here, like my bone is just changing, my skull is changing, my nose is extra fragile, my teeth are decaying, my skin is just like drying up and like peeling. But when I'm looking at myself and I look at these people who quote unquote healthy, not being ready, not dying, quote unquote, I'm like, well, this is what life looks like, and I'm the nothing dying. If I'm dying, what's going on with you guys? It's because they do these nasty things 24/7 and it gets to them. There's no life. There's no real life. They're not living. I'm dying because my body's dying. But at this point, I see them try to pretend to laugh off. I was like, oh my God, this looks even fake. I can't imagine living my life doing what they do. It's the scariest thing. And then, on top of that, and I hope I'm making sense, because I'm trying my best. It's just a lot of me trying to express what's happening to me. Then they try to make me subscribe to these pedophilia things and the retardations in different ways. Oh, okay. But remember, because I went on Instagram, I see somebody I followed in 2014 on Snapchat. I followed this person. Now, in 2014, I'm in my late 20s, right? I followed this person. Her name is O. I'm not going to finish the name. And I'm looking at her on Snapchat. I was like, I think she looks like an adult. She looks like she's in her early 20s. I was wrong. She was just like, she was not even an adult yet. She was about to be an adult. I follow her thinking she's an adult. She looks old in her age. You look at her, it's one of those people who look way older in age. I follow her. Never had interaction with her. Just follow her stories, see her travel the world, and very interesting life. And they're like, no, that's proof because in 2014 you follow her. I'm like, Jesus. Of course they know that. But I'm like, and I see her on Instagram. You see what proved. For example, you follow her in 2014. This guy that you saw on YouTube traveling somewhere, he talked to some young adult. In this Eastern European country, I think is in Budapest. That's proof. What? We matched it. Because today what they do is like they force me to get stimulations toward kids. Even people who look like kids, they're not even kids. Stimulations, perceptions, babies of all sorts, from the little ones to the older ones. Nastiness, and try to make me accept all of it. It's like, no, but when you were a kid you felt like that. Oh no, but if you look at that, but it's like, what? I know who I am. I know what I like. I know my true imperfections. You nasty motherfuckers, excuse my language, I've been renowned to manipulating people in these pedophilia ways, aiming this program and perversion toward children of all sorts, young people, kids, children. This is not only me who's saying that. And I'm gonna die knowing this. So the reason why I make these videos is because I know my brain is fading away. Because my brain is to manipulate. But before that happens, I got to see a lot of things. Not only in regard of tortured and horrible things, but things in regard of what these people are. Finding out that this entity is contracting them to make them to incentivizing them to be this retarded. Are filled with pedophiles. But when actual investigations are happening, when they try to find pedophiles, they keep finding pedophiles that are in these agencies that contract this low life, where they can do nothing about. Finding out this problem, so these agencies who know everything about the employee they hire, everything, are hiring pedophiles. And these people are here trying to make me feel guilty for some person on YouTube talking to some young adults in Budapest and try to make me feel guilty about it. It doesn't even make sense. Because they want me to make me, that's their job. In my mind, I'm like, I cannot let them escape. If I'm dying, let me show them this living people, living life. This is the life. Listen, they can't even speak about a pedophile that picked up kids because my employer who put me in this program donated money to this pedophile that picked up kids at the YMCA. They have to say Rots more to not be able, because they're not able to say Roy Moore for some reason. I don't know if somehow they contracted to not say his name. I don't know. They can say Roy Moore. A pedophile that picked up kids. A YMCA allegedly was banned from YMCA because he will go talk and try to pick up kids when he was an assistant DA. And they can't even say his name. What kind of life is this? It's so humiliating. How much humiliation can one have in one lifetime and they're not being tortured? And they keep calling me a nothing to the point where I'm like, I'd rather be like nothing. When they say I'm a nothing, it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I'm a nothing. It has become a good thing now. You know, when you try to dehumanize somebody, it's like, you're nothing. But coming from trash like that, calling you a nothing, you feel like, okay, yes, I'm a nothing. Because I could be something like you. It's crazy. It's like, you look at it like, me? Okay, I'm a nothing. Because if you're something, oh my gosh, I don't want to be that something. I'd rather be nothing like this. Cowardness, low-lifeness, pedophilia-ness, all kind of disgustingness. I'd rather be a nothing because you're that something. What I've said before, everything I've said, one way or another, have shown to be true. And I'm talking about in regard of this, not the random things they try to bring up. Also, were you right when you said that this report was like this? Like, no, I'm talking about the things that matters. And this trash tell me how I'm going to be framed. They're using this trash. It's like it's going to be our justice. These people have been torturing children and women all around the world. So, yo, wait for your justice. Don't worry. Do your thing. You're God right now. You're the something. Yeah. You're the something. Everybody else is the nothing. And watch your justice coming. To all my target individuals, stay strong.